This is Walk to Wealth, episode 18. My name is John Mendez, and I am your host. Welcome to Walk to Wealth, where I motivate and inspire people new to the world of personal finance by letting you all in behind the scenes of someone who's still on his way. Thank you for tuning into today's episode. For all my new listeners, welcome. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you can make it. For all the OGs in the building, welcome back home. Thank you for all the loyalty and all the support. Yeah, and it's like, I think one of the biggest drivers for me personally is like, and I said it on a podcast several times, but like, there's one thing I learned from 12th grade philosophy. It was my English class, but my English teacher would go into random, like, off curriculum stuff about philosophy, and it's like the duty of the enlightened is to enlighten the unenlightened. Pretty much, it's like once you know something, you just got to put everyone on. And I feel like in order to have an actual why, it has to be bigger than you. Because like if your why stops at you, as soon as you're not feeling anymore, or you in a slump, you're having a bad day, things aren't falling your way, it's like you'll take that day off, you'll take that rest, you'll slack off a little bit. But when your why is bigger than you, and there's more people at stake, it's like the whole script in your mind's changed, because like you can't take that day off. You don't have that convenience of just, going half at it, because there's more people. And it's like this guy named Jordan Peterson, I love listening to him. He was like, you should aim your life to the highest good, right? Pretty much saying, because like, what else are we here for? We don't got much time. We don't know what we're actually capable of. So might as well reach for the highest point that we could possibly reach, because like, who knows what we can do? We barely know anything about anything. If you ask someone why, like, enough times, they're not going to give you a proper answer. It's like, just why not, while we're still here, just aim for the highest thing that you can do, whatever route you can take. Because like there's, so many people out there that could be affected. Like if you know 1,000 people and they know 1,000 people, and those 1,000 people knows 1,000 people, that's 1 billion people right there. You're pretty much connected to most of the world without even realizing, bro. That's only 3 levels away, bro, from reaching almost the entire world. So it's like, and most people, I'll have over 1,000 followers. I know you do. You have a couple thousand followers. It's like, now imagine all those people. And all those people, it's just like, people don't realize you don't need to have a massive impact to really like change the world. And you might not even see what's really happening behind the scene in other people's lives. It's like, as I got into real estate, there's like, I was literally working, because I still work at a restaurant on the weekends. And there's one shorty, and she was like, "Hey, you're John. You're the realtor on Instagram, right?" She was like, "Yeah, I've been seeing your stuff on Instagram." And I was like, "Oh, thanks, man." And she was trying to get into real estate, and it's like, you never know who's watching and how whatever you're doing could be infecting other people. So you're not striving to get to the best that you could possibly be. There's so many people out there that could have been something, but end up not becoming something because you decided to slack off. So it's like you have to, in a way, like, kind of bear the weight of the world in a way, because it's like, if not, it's like there's people out there that you're letting down that you don't even know you're letting down.
And that's why I value network marketing so much, because obviously you get paid based off of the team that you're bringing in, the amount of volume that you have within your business. So when it came to network marketing, I was making $2,000 a month because of the rank I was within the compensation plan, but there was a new customer that was into the business that was unranked, that wasn't making any money yet. And it's just like when you're making a lot of money, or when you're making a good amount of money compared to what everybody else is doing, and you see them working hard and they're trying to get to the same level, but they're not eating yet, or they're not making that money yet, it's like you don't feel satisfied. Like you don't feel good about yourself. Like no matter how much money I've made, like if I know that new person is struggling their ass off and they're not making money at all, like that makes me feel bad. What I'm saying? It's like, what can I do to help that person out, right? What can I do to help this person out? How can I get them more money? How can I get them more educated? How can I help them produce? So that's one thing that network marketing really is structured off of, helping everybody see success. That's when you'll see your success. And there's a quote. It says, in order to become a billionaire, you must first create multiple millionaires. So that's pretty much the mindset that you have to have.
Yeah, and it's like, and there's another quote to spin off that. It's like, it's not about making $1 million. It's about the person you become.
Mhm.
right? That in order to make that $1 million. And here's a thought that I kind of came up with it a couple weeks ago actually, because you know how everyone talks about generational wealth, right? They want their kids to be wealthy and everything, and that's all good and dandy. But it's like people fail to realize there's another quote too. It's like tough time breeds strong people, right? Strong people breed, easy times. Easy time breeds weak people. Weak people breeds tough time, and then the cycle continues, right?
Mhm.
So it's like your grandpa came from DR. Your mom, I'm just using an example, right? Your mom, she was here, and she was working 9 to 5 and then 6 to 10 every day. Now you're here and you become an entrepreneur, you become wealthy. Your kid, he becomes a super multi entrepreneur, massive success, and then your grandkid is back to where your grandpa started, right?
All
Because like that's what generational wealth ends up doing. People don't realize, bro. It's not about providing a better life for you. I mean, it is providing a better life, but it's like you learn what you learned through the journey you went through, and by you taking away all the tough times to provide your kid with the absolute best, you're literally taking out everything that made you who you are,
right.
right? And it might not be directly with your kid, but it might be your grandkid, or it might be your great grandkid. After a while, one of them down the line, down the lineage, is gonna like realize that they don't value money because like you or me, we built massive businesses, became massively successful, and we left them with massive amounts of wealth but no wisdom.
Mhm.
Right, so it's like I've recently shifted from trying to build generational wealth to build generational wisdom. Because God forbid I lose everything and I have my family or grandkids or whatever. It's like if I can instill that wisdom and pass that wisdom along through my peoples, it's like no matter whatever they lose or whatever they gain, they'll always know how to value it and they always know how to get it back if worse come to worse and they lose it all, you
Absolutely.
know. And like that really like flipped a switch to me. And I think it came from originally this one guy who was like, don't focus on passive income, focus on passive impact, right?
Mhm.
If you can impact 10,000 people in your sleep, the amount of money that you'll get, you'll never know what to do with, right? 10,000 a month passive, a lot of people got that. 100,000 a month passive, not a lot of people got that, but it's possible. It's been done before. But if you impact 100,000 people without having to lift a finger, just
Yeah.
because you have so much content out there, you got your courses, or you got you doing speaking, you on interviews and stuff like that. And you can impact 100,000 people.
Mhm.
You'll never there'll never be a shortage of money because the impact, the value you provide into the world, bro. And so
Absolutely.
like that really just hit another switch. It got me into thinking a little bit like, yo, we could be thinking so much bigger.
Mhm.
Like, and that came to me like randomly. I be having random thoughts sometimes, but we got a little off subject, but that's what randomly came to me.
No, yeah, absolutely, bro. Like you look at the wealthiest people in this world, something that they're all doing is they're impacting lives. They're solving problems. You look at people like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk. Those two people are solving some of the biggest problems in the world. And I realized the more problems you solve, the more money you make. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? And that's why those two are the most successful people in this world right now, the richest people in this world. They're just solving the most problems. So, with everything I do, I just try to think like, what can I do that can solve an immense amount of problems for people worldwide, not just in my city, all around
Yeah.
the world. And that's why I really thought about Airbnb, because when you think about Airbnb, when people travel, they always need two things. They need a place to stay and they need transportation, right? That's a big problem. If I were to take a trip to Florida right now and I don't have a transportation, it's not going to be a fun trip for me. If I don't have a place to stay, it's definitely not going to be a fun trip for me. So that's a problem that I'm willing to solve within Connecticut itself, right? So I'm
Yeah.
going to try to monopolize here, and that's when I'm going to go ahead and spread out a bunch of different places as well.
Definitely. And like I know we kind of touched upon it a lot earlier, but like with the business credit and stuff like that, and like so many people, I forget the percentage. I think it's like only like 20% of Americans can like or like less might be able to afford like $1,000 emergency expense. If you
Yeah.
had a credit card, you could just swipe. And
Yep.
not saying like just to swipe away and like and stuff like that, but it's like, for example, last month my cat, he got hurt. He's an outdoor cat, but surprisingly he got hurt inside. He had like a giant like golf ball sized lump on his leg, right? And I
Yep.
had to take him to the ER. And just from that, right, from taking him to the ER, he was there for one day. Ended up charging me like $1,100. It's like,
Mhm.
yo, all they did was take him inside, checked out his leg, poked around a little bit, and sedate him, and like made sure it wasn't anything was broken. Boom, 1100. And like luckily I just had cards, and like not only did I have cards, but then I just used that for my welcome bonus. So it's
Mhm.
like, I was able to cover that one and then get points for it two, and then hit my welcome bonus three, and stuff like that. And like right now, I'm sitting on close to like, I think I got like 275 right now. After them, I'd be like closer to 280, and I got like really started like the points and miles game like about I think December of 2020. I got my Chase Freedom Flex card. And that was my very first card that gave me any type of points back. And I kind of just stayed in this in the Chase ecosystem. I got the Marriott Bonvoy card, the Boundless card with Chase, like last month. So I'm currently working on that welcome bonus, and then I got a birthday trip, and so I get 3 free nights from that when I welcome bonus. So then when it's time to plan my trip, those 3 free nights, I'm pretty much staying for free for the entire trip, and the flight is gonna be covered with points and everything. So, like, talk to us a little bit about like how you got into credit and everything, because I know you got your credit business.
Yep. So that's dope, bro, that you mentioned that because my favorite card is actually, one of my favorite personal credit cards is also the Chase Freedom Flex. That was my
Hmm.
second credit card. But I got into credit, like I said, everything started like with network marketing. That was like the foundation for everything that I started doing. So with network marketing, you have to take trips, you have different events, different events to go to, speakers to listen to around the world, different cities, and you have to book flights, you need to book hotels. So, like I said, I sort of developed into this financial strategist where before I make a move, I try to think, how can this bring me some type of money back in return? Now, I was usually just booking these flights and these hotels on my debit card, but I realized I'm not receiving any money or any cash back from this spending. Why not get a credit card? Right? Looked on YouTube University once again, sat down, studied someone named Him 500, right? And he was talking about all the benefits that come with credit. So I said, let me look into these credit cards. I came across the Chase Freedom Flex. I came across Amex, really just changed my life. I currently have an Amex Platinum business. I also have an Amex Gold for the personal. And those are two cards that I looked into. I was someone that was traveling. Those are two travel cards. The Amex Platinum, I get 5x points on every dollar that I spend with the Amex Platinum when I travel, when I book a flight, when I book a hotel through the Amex Rewards app,
Hmm.
right? So I started to looking into credit cards. I started to get cash back for all these different purchases. I started to, get free flights, started to travel for free, stayed at all these hotels for free. And I said, this has saved me a lot of money because now every dollar that I spend, I makes a portion back. Let me teach other people how to do the same exact thing. Right.
Hmm.
I was someone that I built my credit up. It took me a year to really build my scores to above 760s. Right. And I learned a lot of shortcuts along the way. I said, let me teach people how to do the same exact thing. So now people come to me all the time when they want to build their credit, when they want to learn about credit, when they want to learn about credit card gaming. There's something called the trifecta effect
Yeah.
when it comes to credit cards. And that's pretty much when you get three of the top cards within a certain bank that all offset each other. So what I mean by that, for example, Amex, right? Let's look at Amex cards. The Amex Platinum card is usually meant for traveling. You get 5x
Hmm.
points for every single, flight that you book, every hotel that you stay at, right? The Amex Gold, it's a little different. That's usually more for food. So I combined both of those cards. I said, when I travel, I need food, I need a place to stay. Let me use the Amex Platinum for all my flights and my hotel stays. Every time I get food, let me use the gold. And then there was another card that I looked into. It was a Capital One card, the Venture X. And the
Okay.
Venture X, you get 5x, I think 5 to 10x for rentals. So now I have a complete package. I have three cars that pretty much all offset each other: travel, food, rentals. Now when I take a trip, I have everything that I need, and now I'm getting cash back on every dollar that I spend, no matter where it is.
Yeah.
So look into cards. If I can give you guys any piece of advice, look into credit card banks. Look at what cards they offer, what benefits they have, and try to get three cards that all have benefits that are opposite of each other and collect all three of those cards so you can maximize your cash back and your points when you're spending.
Yeah, that's what I did. So for me, I was a little different. I never actually heard of him 500, and I am on YouTube a lot, which is strange. But for me, Brian Jung was a big one. He's more of a crypto guy now, but back in the day, he used to drop a lot of credit card videos. There's a guy named Ask Sebi,
Yep.
and this guy named he changed his name now, but it used to be the Credit Shifu or the Shifu Warrior, something like that. And I used to watch those three like religiously, and they pretty much put me on. to pretty much mostly everything I know. What really started it for me is this book called "I Will Teach You to Be Rich" by Ramit Sethi, and in that book, I recommend that book for everybody because he goes in depth like and like to like what he's using, why like he made me switch my bank accounts. Like I went from banking with Bank of America for my checking and savings. Now my check-ins is with Schwab. I got one with Chase just to deposit cash because I'm still at the restaurant, and I got my savings with Ally. My one of my good friends, I put her on, and she put her on. Her mom and her grandma onto the Capital One 360 savings bank account. Like that book is the most practical book. Like you read a chapter, you can put the book down and then go implement something. Like it's like it's extremely practical. And that's when he mentioned it, the Chase Sapphire Preferred card. He said that's one of his cards that he has. A reserve. I think he has a reserve, which is like the upgraded version. And I was like, oh shoot, like you can get points for this stuff, like for traveling, you could travel for free. And I was like, oh boom. So at the time I had my Bank of America card. And it got like 3% back on something, 2% back on like gas or whatnot. But it's like Bank of America, they don't got no travel partners for the most part. Like no one knows I just got that card just so like I start building my credit for the most part. Then when I got the Freedom Flex card, so I got the Chase trifecta. And there's different spin-offs, but like so it was the Freedom Flex card that I got first. I ended up getting the Freedom Unlimited second, and then I got the Sapphire Preferred third. So that was my Chase trifecta. And the best part about that is the Freedom Flex and Unlimited are both no annual fee cards. And they got a whole bunch of bonuses. I'm not gonna get into all the bonuses. They got too many bonuses. And then the Sapphire Preferred is for the travel. And the best part about the travel is, as you know, a lot of these travel cards they have like airline partners and hotel partners. So now you not only can you just use the points to book it directly with your card, you can then transfer those points out to them other hotel companies or airline companies and then get an even better redemption for your point value. And most people don't even know. And that's when the game really starts getting interesting because like now you got to do a little bit more research. And then I ended up picking my first business credit card was the Chase Ink Cash. So, and that was my first one. And the main reason why I stayed within Chase, I love Amex, but Chase has the 524 rule, as you know. So my goal was to bang out as many Chase cards as I can because I know once I get into Amex, I won't be able to get a Chase card for dumb long because that 524 rule. So I think now I'm at the brink of it. So I might have to wait until June. I think after August, I might be able to get one more Chase card.
Yep.
And then, but at this point in time, I think I have everything I need. But I might just get maybe like the Chase Ink. What's the other Chase Ink? Unlimited? Yeah, I think it's the Chase Ink Unlimited.
Yeah.
And then from there, completely just start getting into Amex and start running up the Amex system.
Facts. And for those that don't know, John made a very good point. He mentioned the 524 rule with with Chase. So that pretty much states they Chase will automatically deny you for any credit card that you apply for within their business, within their bank, if you have more than 5 inquiries within 24 months. So what inquiry is pretty much when you apply for a line of credit with your social. You'll receive what's called the inquiry every time you apply, whether you get accepted or you get denied. After you have 5 within 24 months, they will automatically deny you for anything that you apply for. So the smartest thing to do is, like what John said, start with your Chase cards and then branch off into other credit cards because other credit banks don't really have those rules. Chase only does. So if there's anything we could recommend too, make sure you start with those Chase cards first.
Yeah, and then so talk a little bit more about your credit business a little bit, like more in depth, like what are the actual services that you provide? Like tell us a little bit more about let's say I'm fresh out of college, don't got no credit card or anything. I'm like, yo, Ru, I need to build my credit. What does that process look like? How does one go about that?
Well, first and foremost, what we do is we offer our customers what's called the trade line. A trade line is a positive account that holds history that reports their credit, right? So with a trade line, you're getting access to credit history that's been operating, let's say, for over 5 to 10 years of history. They have all on-time payments. They have certain credit builder loans on there. They have auto loans, auto financing, all these different things that appear under your credit report. So when I add you under that trade line, you get all that history. What that does is that lowers your credit utilization, which is the amount of credit that you're utilizing on your card. And then it also increases your credit scores. So we're boosting credit anywhere from 60 to 225 points within the first 2 months that you're working with us, which is big because every time you apply for a line of credit, one of the biggest factors that they're looking at are your credit scores, and they're looking at the history behind it, right?
Mm.
So we start off by putting people on our trade lines and building their credit up. If they need their credit repaired, we also partnered up with a few other people where we repair your credit. We remove any, inquiries that you have. We remove any collections, any derogatory remarks, anything that's holding your credit back. We remove those things. Then we also provide you with credit guides that are going to educate you on credit, how to utilize your credit card. I tell people all the time, don't use more than 20% of the money on your card, right? Only utilize 20% because you want to show these banks that you don't really need credit. You just want it, right? If for example, if I have $5,000 on a card right now, on a credit card, and every single month I'm maxing out $5,000, these banks, these lenders, these creditors, they're going to look at me as a liability because every single month I'm maxing out this card. You're showing them that you need that card. Without that card, you can't function, right? We're all humans. We make mistakes. There's going to be a month where I won't be able to pay that card off in full like I always do. And now I'm going to be in debt. Not only me, but you also put those lenders in debt as well. They're not going to want to lend to you anymore. So I always say stay under 20% of your utilization. And if you can't stay under 20%, that just means you need more credit cards, right? 6 to 7 credit cards is a sweet spot. So we provide you guys with information like that through credit guides that I personally created that'll educate you on the entire process. But then we also get into business credit for those that want to create their LLCs. We'll create your LLCs together on a Zoom call, just like this call we're having right now. Step by step, we'll go ahead. I'll provide you with the business credit guide that'll show you how to build up your business credit so you can go out there and get funding because of your LLC. I'll show you how to acquire business credit. I'll show you how to acquire personal credit. So we're pretty much taking our clients all the way from A to Z within the credit game, right? So we can take someone that knows absolutely nothing, and by the end of 2 months of working with us, they know everything that they need to know, and they can go out there and actually start their own business. And that's where we get into financial strategies. I don't just educate on credit. I also educate on how to go out there and make money utilizing credit as well.
Yeah, that's dope because like I feel like with the business credit side of thing, a lot of people don't understand credit cards in general, like
Yep.
on a personal side, and they fail to realize the business side. That's a whole nother dog within itself. Like, and it's
Yep.
like a lot of people, for example, like instead of Experian credit, TransUnion, Equifax for the most part, it's like DnB, Dun& Bradstreet for the most part. Like they're running, and I think the Equifax has their business side, and I believe TransUnion one of them has the business as well. But for the most part, like Dun& Bradstreet numbers and like. It's different when you have your EIN. And so, like for me, when I got my Chase Ink Cash card, which is a business credit card, so I actually don't have an LLC filed for my real estate business because I didn't know how I should do that because this is my first time being a 1099 contractor. So what I did is that I just filed an EIN as a sole prop, and name my. I don't technically. So if you look me up on the CT Department of Consumer, I technically there's no such thing, but like I do have a trade name like a DBA as Mendez Real Estate technically or whatever. And then I just kind of had to so I can get my business checking account, but there's an EIN tied to it. So like, with my Chase card, I believe it was a hard pull to my personal credit just because I didn't have any technically business credit. But when I go to apply for my next business card because I already have a Chase Ink card, I'm not going to provide my social next time around. I'm just going to provide my EIN. And then from there, it's like it's completely going to be detached. And then that's another thing I wanted to ask you too. So for your Amex business cards, I wanted to ask how do you went about getting those? Because actually, literally 4 days ago from the time we're recording this, my dad he got approved for an Amex Gold card. They sent him a letter, and it was like, yeah, you're approved or you're pre-qualified or pre-approved or something like that. And so he just filled the information out, sent in the application. Mind, this guy doesn't have any credit on his own. He doesn't have any credit whatsoever. No personal credit, no business credit, nothing. They sent him an email, and then he filled it out. Some guy was like, hey, can you provide us with some information? Like, what's your LLC? Where's it located? Blah, blah, blah. Filled that out. And boom, that should be coming in the mail right now. Like, no, I actually think he got it already. And like now he has an Amex Gold business card in his name. So he's going to start building business credit. So, How did you go about doing it? Because for him, it was kind of like completely random.
Yeah. So me personally, I like I said, I did a lot of research on YouTube, so I already knew how big Amex was, and I seen some of the top dogs in the entrepreneurship world with Amex. When I would go out for trips, when I go out for dinner, I'd see the big dogs, pulling out their Amex cards, and it just looks fancy. And when you do your research behind it, it's like it doesn't just look fancy; it's helpful, right? So we used to go out to eat, for dinners after events, and one of the leaders, one of the highest income earning leaders within our group, he would, instead of having everybody pay separate checks, he would pull out his Amex and he would pay the tab and he would have everybody send him the money. And he was just racking up points, racking up points.
Hmm.
So I already knew, this is something that I really want to do. I really want this Amex card. So I first decided to build a relationship with Amex, which is very important. And I created a banking account with Amex, right? I created an account with them. I had someone that was already an Amex member add me as an authorized user, so my name once again pops up in the system.
Hmm.
And then I was told you don't want to apply for Amex without having a 700 credit score all around. So I made sure I built my scores up there, and then I had at least 2 years of good credit history. I went ahead and I applied on the personal side of credit, right? I went ahead and I got approved. I had an inquiry. When it came to my personal, I applied. When it came to my business, I applied with the business credit card for the Amex Business Platinum. And since the good thing I like about Amex, since I already had a personal account with them, I had an account with Amex. When I applied for the business credit card, it wasn't an inquiry on my name anymore, right?
Yeah.
Because I already had an account with them. So I went ahead and I got both cards right there.
Yeah, I actually found that out recently. Like once you get your first hard inquiry with Amex, everything else is a soft pull. I
Yep.
did not know that until like literally like 2 days ago. Um, and then that's another thing I did similarly with the Chase system. So after I got my first Chase Freedom Flex card, that was my first entry into Chase, right? Didn't have any other accounts with them, any other relationships with them. Then I got a little bit ahead of myself and I tried to apply for the Chase Sapphire Preferred card in February 2021, so 2 months after, which is a good amount of time, but the minimum on that card is 5,000. And so at that point, my Chase Freedom Flex card had a limit of 1,800, and my Bank of America card had 1,500. So like even with those two combined, it didn't even come close to the Sapphire Preferred. So they pretty much said, "Nah, you denied. You don't got enough money." Like, and I was like, "Dang." And I called the reconsideration. And that's another thing too. If you ever get denied, call the reconsideration line. So I called them up immediately after, like to get to the bottom of it, because like, why on earth am I not approved? And then, even then, they said they couldn't approve it. So I was
Yeah.
like, okay, let me hold my horses a little bit. Um, and so I still had my Bank of America checkings account with Bank of America, and because I was at the restaurant, I needed a place to deposit money. Schwab is an online bank only. I don't have a place to deposit, so I switched my checkings account to Chase, so I can then build another relationship with them, and then I applied for the Freedom Unlimited card 2 months after I got denied from the Sapphire. Right, so now that's my Freedom Flex card, Unlimited card, and I have the checkings account. So then fast forward a little bit, in the summer, I didn't really understand what I was doing, but I pretty much sent a letter out to all three of the credit bureaus to dispute the hard inquiry for my Chase Sapphire Preferred, and another hard inquiry I got for trying to help my dad out with something. I took those two off my credit report, and then when I applied for the Sapphire Preferred in September again, I was instantly approved without a question. It's like they instantly approved me. So it's like, long story short, it's like whenever you're trying to get into a system, find a way to like get your leg or your toe in there, dip your toe in. Like, so for me, that was getting that checkings account and build a relationship with the bank. For you, was the authorized user, and find a way to get into that ecosystem before you
Yeah.
start applying and stuff on your own.
Absolutely, bro.
And so, let's see what else I wanted to ask you. Um, so for the Chase, the Amex cards, could you go a little bit about in depth into the difference between a credit card and a charge card? Because I know the platinum and a gold card are both charge cards. So go into a little bit about that so people can understand the difference. Because this is playing around with a lot of money.
Yeah, absolutely. So when it comes to the Amex Gold, the Amex Platinum, those aren't your typical regular credit cards. A regular credit card, when you get approved for it, they're going to tell you off the rip, once you get approved, what your limit is going to be. So, for example, I have an Apple card. And with the Apple card, once you get approved, they tell you, okay, you have a $6,000 limit. You have a $10,000 limit. With the charge cards, there's no preset limit on that card. Meaning, right? They're not going to tell you how much money you can spend. What you do is you go to the app and you can go ahead and you can request to spend a certain amount of money every single month. So I requested $20,000, for this month, and I was approved for it, right? The only difference is, though, yes, the limit is higher, but you have to pay that card off in full every single month. You see, with my Apple card, I receive interest, right? I can pay back a portion of that money every single month and get hit with a little bit of interest every month, right? And nothing happens. With the Amex card, if you don't pay it off in full every single month, you're hit with a late payment. So yes, I do have more money on my Amex. I have 30,000, 40,000, 50,000. If I want, I have access to almost 100,000 just in Amex. But if I spend that money, I have to make sure I pay it back in full the next month, right? So it's all about being smart with your finances, as opposed to having a regular credit card, let's say a 0% interest credit card, and you don't gotta make a big payment for the entire year because you're not getting hit with interest any single month for the next 12 months. So it's a big difference between the two.
Yeah, and as we start getting closer to wrapping up, we talked about a lot this episode. We got in depth into Airbnbs. We talked about some business credit, network marketing. We talked about a lot of different topics, wealth building. So for anyone that's still listening right now, what do you want their call to action to be? Like, what, after them listening to this podcast and hearing everything we have to say, what do you want them to go do right now that's practical, that's applicable to their life right now in this moment?
I want you guys to grab a piece of paper and a notebook on a whiteboard, and I want you to write down in big, bold letters what it is that you want, right? Because in order for you to actually attain something, I'm a firm believer you first must see it, you first must imagine, you first must dream it. When it came to football, for me, my coach used to tell me, before you play a football game, you should have already played that football game in your mind, in your sleep, 1,000 times. So when you go out there, you can envision, you can make those same exact plays. Same thing goes on with life. I took that same stuff that I learned in football and I applied it to life. If I wanted to make this year multiple six figures, I'm going to write it out in big, bold letters. And then I'm going to write out pretty much a blueprint on how I'm going to do it. And it's not going to be a regular blueprint. It's going to be a well thought out blueprint on how exactly you're going to get those things done, right? Actionable steps, right? Timely steps. This month I have to do this. Next month I have to do that. And I want you to follow that blueprint. And even when times get hard, I want you to continue to fight. And eventually you will get there. That's what I did. I had a big, level of belief. I saw what I wanted. I wrote out exactly how I wanted to get it. Every month I had to acquire certain small goals in order to get there. I had to check these things off my list in order to lead to the big term result. And I can assure you, once I checked off all those small boxes, it led to that big box. I was able, to get my goals accomplished. So if I can give you guys, a tip for the day, write out what it is that you want, write out timely steps on how you're going to get there and get it done.
All right, bet. And then, just in case anyone wants to reach out to you, or if you got some upcoming stuff plans, where can the fans get in touch with you, and what you got up and coming that they might be interested in?
Absolutely. My website is creditdoc.com. You guys will be able to find the website in the link under this video. I have credit mentorship. I have a big group chat called the 700 Club where we're mentoring, students, educating them on credit, making sure that they're building their credit the right way. Like I said, we're offering different services to build people's credit. We are looking to add Turo mentorship on the website. We're looking to add Air BnB mentorship on the website coming very soon. We have a big community that you can engage with. My Instagram is at GetBusyRu. It currently is down. It will be up soon, but for now, you can, tune in. You can check up, on our website, the Credit Doc. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We have a support box there. And very excited to work with you guys, and just show you guys what we know.
Alrighty, and the last thing that we want to do, this is something that I started from the very first interview, and I kind of just been keeping it going since. So it's my famous 5 questions that I pretty much ask everybody, and just so pretty much anyone that knows it knows that I don't tell these questions prior to you coming on. So this is all off the top of the head, and I actually kind of am low-key looking for it right now because I can't find it right now. But I wanted to make sure that I asked you the 5 questions, so give me a second while I pull this up really quickly. And for the most part, for the credit doc, do you want to shout out that that Instagram as well. What you got going on at the Credit Doc?
Absolutely. So I do have an Instagram that is currently up, that I'm on. It's at the Credit Doc. I really, try to stress the importance of making reels on there, dropping little tips where we educate on credit, educating on different ways to growing your credit, making money off of credit. So go ahead and follow that, Instagram. You can also click on my bio within that page and you can find the website. You find our website, find other interviews that I have uploaded on there where you can actually learn some free game. My DMs are open. If you have any questions on building your credit, creating your LLC, all those different things, you can also reach out to me on Instagram at the Credit Doc.
All right, boom. All right, so let's get right into the last question before we wrap this up. So, if you could have any superpower, I know it's a cliche question, what would it be?
I think it's called I think it's telekinesis.
Telekinesis, so like picking stuff up with your brain and stuff.
Yeah, something like that, or like being able to just like read other people's minds.
Okay, mind read. Okay.
Yeah, I would like to do something like that, just to see like what people are thinking and try to see like how I can pick people's brains and just like finesse different things, close different deals. And
Yeah.
just, what I'm saying,
Okay,
when it comes to a lot, there's a lot of objections that go on. And someone might tell you, yo, I'm not interested right now, or, I don't have the time, but that might not be the real reason on why they're not doing business with you. So if I could just pick your brain apart and really see what you're thinking, I can go ahead and I can close those deals.
Yeah, so you'd be like an ultimate salesperson.
Yeah, I'll be the ultimate sales.
All right. What's your favorite pizza topping?
Barbecue pepperoni.
Barbecue pepperoni on pizza. Okay. All right, boom. What's your favorite condiment?
Ketchup mayo.
I bet. And what's one place that you want to visit that you haven't visited yet?
Bali.
Bali. Why Bali?
I just like the way it looks, bro. First and foremost, it's almost 36 hours, a 36-hour flight away from the US. So it's like far away. I feel like out there, it's peaceful. I can stay like in a villa. Like I looked at like a bunch of different villas and stuff. And just like clear my mind, get away from everything. And then also like once you get there, everything is very cheap. Like you can get a meal for, $5, $3. You can get a villa for like under like $100 a whole month. So it's cheap, it's affordable, and it's like away from everything.
Yeah, okay, boom. And then last question. If you had a DJ name, what would it be?
I was a DJ, bro.
Really?
Yeah. I forgot what my DJ name was. I'll just go with DJ Ru, to be honest.
DJ Ru? You can't remember the old name? Is it a bad name and you don't want to tell us, or you can't remember?
It's I forgot what it was. It was classified. I forgot what it was, bro. But it wasn't bad. It was wavy.
It was wavy. All right. I will let you slide on this one. All right, man. Well, Ru, I appreciate you hopping on to the podcast, man. It's been a great interview. Definitely learned a couple things myself while I was interviewing you. So I know everyone listening definitely going to learn some things. I'm going to make sure to put all your links and stuff in the bio. Anyone can find you, and I'm going to shout this out. You probably will be dropping this Sunday. For the most part, that's pretty much it. I appreciate you hopping on.
Appreciate you, my brother. Have a good rest of your day.
You too, man. Take care. Thank you all for tuning into today's episode. Again, I am your host, John Mendez. You can find me at JohnMendez_realtor and at Walk to Wealth on Instagram. Make sure to subscribe and leave a positive review if you're loving the podcast so far. New episodes release every Sunday. Can't wait to see you on the next episode.